Hello. Welcome back. we are back with season 3, and we are ranking with the whole office, and we got all of season 2 down, and we are going to be starting with season 3 today. Now, we're just going to go through it again. It's going to be S tier. It's going to be for constant rewatch. We got A tier for really great, B tier for good, not great, C tier, neutral, it's okay. D tier, it's going to be unmemorable and boring, kind of the same thing. F tier, terrible. E, it's a constant skip. So, without further ado, let's hop right into it. So, to start it all off, we are going to come into let's see. Okay, we're gonna start it off with Gay Witch Hunt. Holy cow. We're starting off with a banger. This is the episode where Dwight not Dwight. Jim leaves the office and he goes to another facility in which he's working at Stanford. And this is all starting off from Casino Night, in which the season finale, which was right here. It was a good episode. But Gay Witch Hunt is when Michael and Dwight try to find who's gay in the office, and they ended up kind of just finding out who, and turned out to be Oscar, and it starting off the season a little bit strong, but it left us with one of the most funniest scenes ever. And if I end up editing this clip into here, hopefully I can find it. It'll show here.
Oh.
But now that that's out of the way, Gay Witch Hunt is probably going to be it's a really good episode. I will put it in probably between Christmas Party and Valentine's Day. It is one of my favorite episodes. But it kudos to Oscar, and he ended up getting himself a 3 week vacation, all paid, and he got to get paid just because he's gay. So but starting off with episode 2, or episode 2, I have the convention. The convention I really liked, only because it really kind of, in a way, brought a little bit of closure to Michael and Jim's friendship. No, not exactly closure, but kind of made the bond a little bit stronger, and it brought Michael closure to the point where he kind of knows that it wasn't his fault for leaving, and it wasn't his kind of like, he can now stop blaming himself for Jim leaving, and that's something that I really enjoyed. And that's something, in the little Michael and Jim moments, I really enjoyed that. And like I said in the previous video, it really shows character growth for Michael to kind of understand a little bit more about his employees and how he kind of bounces off of them. And I really enjoyed that. So the convention, for me, it's going to be, I will say, it is really good episode. It's going to be in the Dundies, right above the Dundies. Now for the next episode, we have episode 3. It's going to be The Coop. The Coop is when Dwight is kind of pressured by Angela, but he goes out of his way to meet with Jan, and he kind of goes behind Michael's back and tries to make himself manager, but he's actually seen the dentist. Don't know why no one will believe him.
You were at the dentist?
But so he ended up going behind his back, and Michael ended up kind of figuring out why, and it's a whole fun. It's all around. It's a fun episode. I really enjoyed it. I will say, the Coop is a pretty good episode. It's not a good. It's not. Oh, okay, hold on. It's not unmemorable. It's going to be probably. It's probably going to be in between Casino Night and Valentine's Day. It's a good episode. I really enjoyed it, and I know the side plot was with Jim and Karen. However, grief counseling. What was that one? That one is when. Holy. It's when the bird dies. It's when Michael and Michael's old boss ends up dying, and he takes it pretty hard, asks his Pam for a hug, saying, where's my hug at? And basically, a bird dies. They have a funeral for a bird, but it's a pretty good episode. I do understand that. I really like that episode. Grief counseling is probably going to be for good, not great. It's a strong episode. I will say it's better than The Carpet. It's a pretty good episode. Initiation, that one is that is when Dwight takes Ryan out to his farm, and then Moses ends up being the one who he has to fight, apparently, and it's it's a pretty good episode. I do really like Initiation, but I will say it's a good, not great episode. It's a strong episode, but it's a good, not great. It's gonna probably go behind Dwight's speech. It's just one of those episodes in which it's okay. But Dwight does hit us with a really hard line.
Not everything's a lesson, Ryan. Sometimes you just fail.
Diwali is it's a good episode, yes. But like season 2, it does have its drawbacks, because season 2, or not season 2. This episode, Diwali, it just kind of makes me feel a little bit cringy, because Michael does propose to Carol on their 3rd date, 4th date, or 20th date. I don't know. There's many dates in this in which she keeps bringing up at the end of like the thing, but it's an okay episode. It's not good. It's not terrible, but I'm gonna put it in neutral for me. It's an okay episode. Hello? Okay, there we go. Branch closing. Branch closing. I will say branch closing, that is the one with everybody splits up, yeah. It's a pretty good episode. I do really like this episode. It's a good, not great episode. For me, what doesn't really peak it is just most of the humor for me, and the kind of the overuse of what just doesn't work for me is it's not very collaborative with each other, and like meaning like the characters, they don't really kind of mix the salad, and they don't make anything crazy, But overall, branch closing, I will say it's a pretty good episode. It's a good, not great episode. I'll put it right there. Next up, we have The Merger. The Merger is one of my favorite episodes. I do like this episode. The Merger, where Tony quit.
That guy's like pizza, pepperoni Tony.
So, this one is probably this one might have to be my constant rewatch. I do really like this episode. This one's, well, actually, we're going to knock it down a peg, because I do know there's some episodes that belong in S tier. They are constant rewatches. The Merger is a good rewatch, but sometimes I don't find myself going back and rewatching that episode, but I like the episodes that happen past it. So, we're going to drop it in really great. Still a good, solid episode. I will leave it up there. Convict. I I will say about that last episode. That episode I really like only because it adds more characters for the other characters to build off of each other and kind of just mix well. Whatever doesn't mix, they end up getting fired, and I love that. Now we're just gonna. I just wanted to add that in. So we're gonna go back to Convict. The Convict, I will say it's a pretty good episode, only because they just go bananas, and we literally meet one of the most creative characters ever, Prison Mike. Who would have thought? You know, we thought we would get not like a few characters, but we ended up getting another character added on to the season, and I love that. But he only appears in this episode. I really wish he had more episodes. But the Convict is going to be an A tier. It's going to be a really good episode. It might be in S tier because I really, really like this episode and what they brought to the table and how they managed to mix this episode pretty good. Benihana Christmas. This one is A tier or S tier. It is one of my favorite episodes because I just have so many memories of this episode, and it makes me laugh so much because it shows it doesn't show anything. It just the jokes, the settings, the how do I prove it? I just don't have anything to say about it. It's just such a good episode. I will say the characters, they all mix well together. All of them they just move along with each other, and that's something I really like. Benihana Christmas is probably one of my favorite rewatchable episodes that I will go out of my way to pop it in, and it just goes, and I just love it. Back from Vacation, ooh. I will say this one is a pretty funny episode. This one I remember because it's when Michael sends out a memo to packaging instead of Packer, and then it spreads like wildfire, and Packer's like, he's like, wait, I didn't get it from you, but I got it from like my other friend at the other company, and it's just hilarious all around. And I will say Back from Vacation is a really good episode. It is going above convention. I really like this episode. Traveling Salesman, this is one where they all split up in twos. Oh my gosh, I love this. Okay, I might be saying this about all these episodes, but I love mostly every single one of these episodes that come out of season 3. Season 3 is probably one of my favorite episodes. One of my favorite seasons out of all the seasons, because I love the mixture of characters, the mixture of how many things just pile up into it. But Traveling Salesman, it gives mostly all the characters what they want to do, what they need to do, and it just kind of shows what kind of sales they have. Dwight and Jim, how they've worked really well together, and how they've been partnered up together. And I will have to say, Traveling Salesman is probably going to be between Fire and Office Olympics. It's right there for me. The Return. That one is, I believe, when Dwight returns, correct? Yes, it is. The Return is one of my favorite episodes because it shows Dwight working at Staples. I don't know why that's funny. And also, it just kind of just shows how good of a job he can get. And I know at the beginning it shows that he's been applying at so many places, but at the end he ends up getting at their competitor, which is Staples. So I do like The Return. The Return is probably a really good episode for me. I'm going to have to put it right behind Drug Testing. Drug Testing is right in the dead center between Christmas Party and Drug Testing. That's where I'm going to leave it. That's where it's going to sit. Ben Franklin, who... I do like this episode. This episode's really good. I'm going to put that one behind Casino Night. It's a really good episode, it just shows that Ben Franklin can get feisty with Pam and such, and then and like Michael will be getting a lap dance from the stripper, and it's very crazy. And I don't know, it's a chaotic episode, but I love the characters in it, and it's just, for me, I love it. I love this episode. It's a pretty good episode. Phyllis's wedding, it's a good episode. I'm sorry, it's a good episode, but it has its drawbacks. Oh, I hate to be the bearer of bad news to myself, but Phyllis's wedding has some good and bad. Good. Let's start off with the good. It has some good character qualities, or not character quality. It has some good characteristics that come out of the characters, and I love that. It shows a little bit of who they are outside the office, and it just kind of shows them talking to each other. I love that. I love the kind of the little beef that Pam ends up kind of going off of with Phyllis, and well, not exactly beef, but more of just her just stealing her wedding ideas. I would be a little bit feisty about that if that happened to me, but I'm not married, so but the only drawbacks I do have is Pam leaving with Roy. That is one of my big fatigues against it. I think I use that word right. I don't know, but anyways, Michael acting like a kid, I do like that, but it's a bit much. It's a bit played on too much as a joke, to the point where, I mean, a joke can be funny until it's not. It's good until it's not, until it trips. For me, it's a bit too much. So I will say Phyllis's wedding, it's good, just not great. I will put it between performance review and the carpet. It sits right between that. Business school, Business school is the one where let's see. I do. I'm repeating myself again. Business school is probably going to be a really good episode. No, it's going to be probably above that. Probably above that. Probably above that. Okay, let's not get too high of it. Yeah, okay. Business school's probably going to sit right there between the fire and the fight, because of Michael and Ryan's characters, and how Ryan is kind of just proving off by facts, and Michael can accept that fact that his place he works at, the place that he kind of sells on to the people, as this idea of paper being the kind of blood and business of what Dwight believes in, but it's just, he just doesn't want to accept the fact that it's going to be a dying business, But at the end of the day, he's right, but Ryan, is just a character that still needs to learn at the end of the day, So I will say, I do really like this episode because it kind of shows that side of Michael and Ryan, and just kind of showing what kind of boss he is, and what kind of a person Ryan is, and what kind of character he's kind of set out to be, and it kind of shows the characters on the side of them just fighting off a bat, and Jim just trying to fight off the bat bite. So I will say Business School does sit right there for me. It's a pretty good episode, has a good, strong A plot, and it also has a strong, funny B plot. So, next up we have Cocktails. Cocktails is... holy, okay. It's a good episode. It's a good episode, I promise. It's gonna go up there probably above Valentine's Day. It is when Michael and Jan, it's the highlight of the episode where they go out officially as a couple and they finally meet up. And I love it because it brings out a new character, which is the CFO of the company, and they meet up with Jim, and he just goes out and play basketball, and I love that. And then you see Dwight on the roof just trying to check the structure of the house, and I love that. And he wakes up with the kid just knocking on the wood. He's like, "What type of wood is this?" So honestly, it's a really good episode, and I love it. I really enjoyed it. And it has a good, strong A plot, and I love that. Now, for the next one, we have The Negotiation. Oh, this is the one where the fight happens. Well, not exactly the fight. The punch tries to... the attempt of assault happens. So, I will say The Negotiation is going to have to... It's going to have to be a really good episode. It's going to be a little bit behind Ben Franklin, but it's a pretty good episode because Michael does make a pretty good argument,
But you just said 15.
I love that, and it's pretty awesome, and I love what Daryl and Michael, what their friendship and their bond, and it's just, for me, all around, it's a pretty good episode, and it just kind of shows a little bit of their chemistry of Jan and Michael kind of seeing what they are. After we watch just what happened with Cocktails and The Negotiation right after this, 2 episodes with Jan and Michael, I'll take it. But next up on the list, we got Safety Training.
Dwight, you ignorant slut!
Safety Training is so basically the A plot is about Michael and Daryl. He's trying to prove to Daryl that the office can be a scary place just like the warehouse, and the warehouse is not as it's not as kind of big and gruesome as, or it's kind of not like chaotic as the office, and they just kind of just berate Michael only for it. But Michael's like, I gotta prove to them, so he ends up having Dwight get a whole trampoline, and he's gonna try to jump onto it, and it's all around such a good episode between Michael and Daryl, and I love their character chemistry together because they really shows like he's kind of Michael's reasoning, and he kind of shows that he's Michael's sort of like his inspiration, and I admire that, and I really like that. So Safety Training, it's a good episode, but it's a good episode, but it's not as good. It has some memorable quotes, but it's a good, not great episode. I will say it's up there, but it's a good, not great. Product Recall. Holy, okay. I will say, when they are working, when they are collaborating with each other, when they're working all together, and they're just mixing well, like right in the salad, and it just makes such a good fruit salad. I'm sorry, that's my only annihilation, or like my only kind of thought process through it. But Product Recall is probably going to be a really good episode. It's going to be probably between Ben Franklin and Casino Night. It sits right between there because I love it when they show them working. I love it when they show them collaborating with each other, when they're working in teams. I love that. And all around, you have such a good episode because what's the show called? The Office. That's why it kind of shows them working as a good collaborating, or a good episode. That's why I really like The Merger, Convention, Traveling Salesman, Boys and Girls, and The Client. And I really like it when it kind of shows them doing their job, and I enjoy that. However, we got Women's Appreciation. That one is when Phyllis gets flashed in the parking lot, and Michael shows off his. It shows off one of my favorite scenes.
He's back!
But this episode I do really like, and it kind of just shows. It shows when Dwight flashed Michael, and I think it's a pretty fun episode. It's a good and solid episode, and Michael kind of takes all the women out to the workplace or out to the mall, and really shows like he's growing as a character, and he he really grows in the episodes that he bounces off. And I've said that before, but I'm just kind of just retreading what I just said. So Women's Appreciation, I do really like. It's probably going to go between the fight and drug testing, because I really think it's a strong episode showing a good solid A plot between Michael and the women of the workplace. Beach games, holy cow. Okay, we are here. Beach games is probably going to be set in S tier. It is one of my favorite episodes because, as I said before, when it shows all of them collaborating with each other, talking with each other, bonding with each other outside of the workplace is a bonus, and showing off good characters and their positives, like Pam finally confessing to Jim, and then Jim going out of his way to kind of ruin his relationship. I love that. I love it. I love it. And all around, I really enjoyed this episode. It's a really good. It's a really good episode. The Job. I'm a little mixed on The Job. I really like this episode, but at times I don't really like this episode. Meaning, it's a good, not great episode. It's not terrible. It's not unmemorable. It's a memorable season finale, but it is one of those episodes where you look back on it and you're like, yeah, it was an okay episode. It was not a good episode, not a great episode. So I think this one's gonna go probably behind Branch Closing. I like this episode, but it does have its flaws. I think the only flaws I will say is just kind of the Pam and Jim kind of situation they have going on in that, and it's an okay episode. It's not good, it's not great, but it is good. It's not great. So yeah, well, I guess that wraps up season 3, and I'll see you in the next one. But yeah, please feel free to tell me y'all's opinions down below, and I'll see you on the next one.